Hello, everyone. Let's look at Psalm 128 together. Here is verse 1 in my ESV. Psalm 128 1. Blessed is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. A literal translation looks like this: Oh, the happinesses of all the fearers of Yahweh, the ones walking on the well trodden paths of him. This psalm begins with a ringing shout of joy. Oh, the happinesses. Now I know that the word happinesses is not an English word, but that is how my Hebrew professor translated the underlying word ashrei back in seminary. It has stuck in my head ever since. What do you say when you find out your friend or family member has just received an amazing blessing? The Hebrew adjective I've translated fearers could be translated honorers of Yahweh, or respecters of Yahweh, or even worshippers of Yahweh. The next line makes concrete who the psalmist believes these people are. Metaphorically, the fearers of Yahweh are people who, as a matter of habit, walk on paths that God Himself has marked off. Concretely, the psalmist is talking about people who live their life in obedience. I've used the words well-trodden paths here because long ago I came across a Hebrew dictionary that pointed out that derek, the Hebrew word underneath our English word, is a path that is well worn by constant use. I like that. It's a good description of God's ways. They are well marked and well used by those that appreciate fully God's wisdom. The meaning of the verse is simple enough. A predictable consequence of following God's direction is joy. Here is the main lesson of Psalm 128. Joy is a byproduct of following God's instructions. Years ago, I was explaining something I was doing in my area at the company I worked for to one of the plant foremen who worked in another part of the building. He said to me, "I have an application for that." I was curious, so I asked him what he meant by application. He said, "I can use what you just said on a project I'm currently working on in the back." Well, that's a good explanation. Do you have an application for the psalmist's lesson? If joy is something you value in your life, in what area of life could you be more intentional about doing it God's way? Remember, joy is a byproduct of obedience.